Okay, so this is Pesach Tikkun Zun Shana Shneya. So this is the shir in the back. It's actually a repeat because my machine stopped while I was in the middle of learning this with Rebbe. But it's really a deep idea. Now, those of you, this is really a little bit mind-blowing to actually see what could be happening, because in any one particular day, it's actually related to the days that came before it and in different kinds of cycles. And he's getting into that here. And he writes, Mamasha Kasev O the RASHASH v'Nar Shalom. So we saw this in Nar Shalom. Shetzar Leida Cheshbon Hashanim. You have to know where you are in the count of years. Now, what is he talking about? K'dei Leida L'Kavin B'Berchas Mapel. So that this is a quote from the Nar Shalom. So you should be able to understand and to have a kavanah when you say the mamapel, which is at nighttime when you're going to sleep. And then also the rest of the tefillas of that day. Remember that the problem is that the nighttime represents the second day. So when you're after midnight, you're in another day. When you say hamapel, according to that thinking over there, the mapel is said over there. He says this is actually an attachment to the previous day. Because if you think about it, the day actually starts at nighttime. But at the same time, there's a tikkun that's taking place in the chitzonius, the olamos, which is taking place after Marav, during that time. So you're already into a second day. So it's a little confusing there. The parts of the Yom Sha'avar, which is really coming from the Mochim. The tikkun is coming through the Mochim of the previous day. Now, what does he mean by also Yom Sha'omed Bo, and not per particular day? Like I said, that at nighttime, when you're going to say Hamapel, that, and I don't know that drush. I mean, I'd like to know that drush a little bit better, and I think we're going to get to it in the other shir that we're going to get back to. Wow, we're so deep into this. That the tefillas are like in the previous, and not in this day. Now he says like this, let me explain. The one day has already passed by, which is the concept of the ach. Now, what do you mean? He means there's a concept. This is the concept. It's a three-part concept. It's contained in the explanations of the drushos on Kad Shaus, which, if you've been following us and you've been with us, is that when we talk about Kad Shaus, I'm not sure when it was, but it was in the last 12 months somewhere. We got into that and how it actually pertains to three separate days. That in one day there is a tikkun that takes place in the in the backside. Now in the second day, is upon him, we make the yichud for the penis upon him, and on the third day there'll be a yichud zachar v'nuk. The worlds will come together. Now this is a lot to keep in mind because we have a 24-hour day. As he just said, it's 3 times 24. So he says, you have to have that in mind where you are in the system. So I have no idea. Where did it start? So where am I? Well, actually, probably people do know, but I don't. So now we're able to tikkun in the panim side. Now, so this is the same idea of the God Shaus, that over a 3-day period, we're always being misaking. Well, I guess every single day, whatever you're working on, you're misaking for the day before it and the day before that. Because it's all going on. Every single day, there are 3 different levels of tikkun that are taking place, and they go daily. So you're always back 3 days. So he says, the parts of Kad Shaus, also in the parts of the 20 the Kad Shaus, that's exactly what it is. The tikkun takes 3 different times. That actually takes 3 different days. So that's really the way things go in every partzum. Where we're talking about the parts of the week, which we like to think about what does that mean. The parts of a chodesh, so there's also a zun, it's a parts of, in other words, it's some kind of a system where it's going in threes. You're doing the you're doing the panim, and you're doing the yichud. And there's also a zun de parts of Hashanah. Now, when did those things take place? I'm not sure. But it's not the same thing as Chad Shabbos, because it's not 3 different days. It's 3 different periods. What was the situation at the time of creation? That the front part, the back sides, created by the matzo. And the panim was misaking all the way through Adam Rishon. So this is the same way. Every single day is the same thing. The day that you are in right now, you're affecting a tikkun in the acharaim. But at the same time, that's from today. From yesterday, you're making a tikkun in the panim from yesterday. And on this day, you're also making a tikkun that leads to a yichud from 2 days ago. Now, how is that possible? We don't have a memory like this, even though he's saying it. So then what happens after that? Which is now us. Well, it's made by us now. So I have a couple of more paragraphs that I did here, just 2. Now you can understand what the Nar Shalom says. So there is actually 3 holidays here. Now, what's he going to say about that? So what are the mochin that we bring down on Pesach? It comes from the female side. Building up the female. The zun hakolonim the shana she'avra. So I went over this in the shir. I said the zun hakolonim. What is zun hakolonim? And then he said the kolonim the shana she'avra. So in 1 year, apparently there is these 3 things that take place. The zuna kolonim the shana she'avra, but of the previous year. So you're affecting on Pesach night. You're actually working not just on this night, but you're also working on last year's Pesach. Is that possible? V'him mochin de panim, and that's you're working on the mochin de panim from last year. It's just like the Kad Shalos. Ad Kan. So that was a quote over there. Word from the Nar Shalom. The saying that b'yamim elos, that what we're actually, the service that we're performing in these days, hein bezun the klalos hashana, they are the zun for the whole year. There's a zun of the whole year. This is like, it's blowing my mind. I don't know if I'll be able to think about it after this, or if it'll digest further. He said, "He bezun the klalos hashana bebechidas shana shnia v'shlishis is going to be a 2nd and 3rd year, going back again. Once again, the cycle is first comes in the then comes into the panim, and the day you're on, he's going to say that now, is the day that you're on is the tikkun in the But it's also affecting a tikkun in the panim of the previous year and of the yichud, making a yichud from the 3rd year, 3 years back. And it's not the inyan of the Shana Rishona. Amnam, but Torah's Chacham. Now, so here's the Torah's Chacham, and we had this machlokas between the Torah's Chacham and the Shemin Sasa. Kosiv she'al kach asachal kain lo shayach lekavin b'yom rishon de Pesach. So he says that Amnam. So in terms of there, he says like this. Kosiv she'al kain lo shayach lekavin b'yom rishon de Pesach. So therefore, the kavana, you don't need to have a kavana for the first day of Pesach. Kechatika b'Pesach b'bechin the Shana Rishona, because it's the concept of Shana Rishona. And he says that's what happens on the night of Pesach. In terms of the mochin, the all of them come in on this particular day. That's going to be on this weekend coming up, if you're listening to this year, in this year, 5785. But the mochin of the 2nd year. Kavar nistalku bechem achizas klipos. They already knocked out the klipos, and so now you're in a position where the panim can come on. Why did you knock it out? Because tonight, let's say we're doing it for next year. So for tonight, let's say tonight is Pesach night. Tonight is going to come in Mochin the Gadlus. All the Mochin are going to come in, and those are the Mochin the Ach, and there's going to be an Ach there now. So he's a Kavar nistalku bechem achizas klipos, and because of that, they knocked out the klipos. And that's because they were mochin for the previous year that knocked them out, that were already knocked out from last year. So now you're going to affect the panim of the of the second year and the yichud of the three going back 3 years. So we'll keep working on this idea and try to understand it better. It's cycles within cycles, and the question is, can you have the kavanah to realize what you're doing at the Pesach night? This is the way I understand it now, is that what you're doing is you're bringing in the mochin ach for this year. But at the same time you're doing this Pesach seder this year, you're affecting a tikkun in the panim of the previous year. And if the same thing you're doing tonight for the acharaim for this year, and it's also affecting the panim of the second year, of 2 years back, he says, go to 3 years back and make a yichud out of this Pesach. So all of those things are happening at the same time, and it has something to do with, he has these words, the partzufim of the shanim, partzumim of the seasons, different partzufim here, trying to grasp it. This is Baruch Fleischman, Tikkun, Elevator Kolo.